So
uncommitted now we got to get it here, and even if we stop the server and rerun it, this is fine, right? This is not giving any error or anything. Okay. We can hard code it also here, or we can add the directly in our database. So actually, that was something I was explaining yesterday when I said we are creating this user table. So I have said at that time that you can have a custom existing like while logging in here. Okay, so our login also is not completed. You will see that so it's completed after tomorrow. But if you want to hardcode it while logging in here, you can
Hello everyone. So I think we can start now. Aditya, are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So let's start the session. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this is visible, right? And the browser.
Yes, your screen is visible and everything is visible here.
Am I audible enough?
Your voice is a little bit breaking. Hello.
Okay, so I am audible enough, right?
Yes. Yes, you are audible.
Okay, okay.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Aditya, you're audible.
Yeah, sorry, there was some network issue. Let me
No worries.
start sharing. Okay, so I was saying we are going to start the today's session by uh, getting some overview on security token. So we will be using JSON token, and for that we will use Flask-JWT extended. So how we will set up and how we will use it, let's take a look. So this is like their official documentation, and we can go to basic uses. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, fine. Yep, I think we can use it from here. So if I explain on this page only, so this is Flask JWT extended library, and
ये लो अरे पूरा जो है रिकॉर्डिंग
so Aya Kutti, also please mute yourself, and Project Helpy, can you change the settings so if someone joins
या
by default they are on mute?
ओके
Yeah, okay. And please please mute yourself when you are not asking any doubts or anything. Okay. Okay, so from this library we will be importing some methods. One is create access token. Second is get JWT identity. Then these are some other things like JWT required, JWT manager. Once we will use this, I think, yeah. So this JWT manager is something using which we will create the JWT instance. You can see here, and this is not something new. We have already used it in the similar way for our DB and API instance. We'll have to set this secret key for the security purposes. And as the name suggests, all other methods you can see like create access token means we will be creating token with the help of this. Uh, get JWT identity, we will be getting the identity of the token using this, and this we will be using as a decorator. Okay, and if you come here, you can see here it's creating the access token, and it's taking a parameter which is identity. So you will have to pass some identity so you can like identify like which you like whose token is this, and if it's admin or user or manager, or what is the ID of the, but I mean whatever uh, data you want to access from that token, you will have to pass that data while creating the token, and that's something what we call as payload. So I think that's something I will not discuss today, but maybe if we'll get some time someday we will for sure discuss the structure of JSON web token. Okay, and here you can see we are getting the identity and all, but let's implement this in our app, so there we will see. So if we come here, so first of all I want to implement the data validation. Why? Because if you look carefully in our models, uh, so why data validation is important? So if you see here, we have a limit on the length of the email, password, name, and role status, whatever it is. Now there are some columns like role and status. which will not manipulated by uh, front user, which will be requesting the API, but the email, password, and name we will receive from the user. So that's something user can give a 25 length of password. Okay, and in that case, what will happen? So if we start our server, let's go to backend. Okay, now we have already tested our sign up API, but let's okay. So let's add a name. So we are going to register a new user, sign up with post request, and we will need name and role, I guess. So name can be test. What else we have? Role. So role customer. Okay. Now let's give a password which has length more than 20. So we have given 20 here, and if we give something more than 20, let's see what happens. So uh, let's copy from this documentation itself. I think this will have more than 25 to 20 characters. So okay, now let's send the request. uh, okay, it's saying user. Okay, if it's successful, then let's check the user database. Okay, we have the password column as string 20, and I think we have passed more than 20 here. Okay, let's paste it again. Maybe let's change the email to test2. Okay, I mean, this is kind of magic. It's not giving any error. Where is our DP? Anyone have any thoughts on this? Why we are not getting any errors? I mean, we have defined the length correctly. Okay, let's check.
I think you should
Okay.
search maximum length. How to give maximum
Sorry.
length for a column.
Ah, okay, okay. Sorry. How to give maximum length. Yep. Okay, I think this is what we have done. Okay, this is something strange. I have never faced something like that. Let's check it again, and if it's still working, then we will implement the validation anyway, and maybe I will check and then come back tomorrow. But let's send the request again, or let's add the same thing in other fields. Like here we have 10, and I don't think so we have long fields in email and uh, where is it? Yeah, so role we have given again more than 10, and I think it will work again. Okay, user already exists. So 3. Okay, so I don't know what's happening. Maybe I will check and come back tomorrow, but this should not work when we are passing more than what we have given here. So we have given here 20 and 60 10. So if we are giving more than this, it should give some database error. Okay, so let's do or if we don't pass any. So one error can be if we don't pass any field. Okay, but by default role is something, I guess. Yeah, so default is customer. Maybe we will not pass the password. And then let's see what happens. Okay, now we are getting 500 internal server error. Why? Because we haven't handled the case where if we are not sending the all the required data fields, then what will happen? We are not handling that case here in any of these endpoints. So if you see the error, it's saying integrity error. Why? Because we are trying to save password uh, here, but what it will result if we have not given the password, it will result in null or none. So that's why we are getting this error, not null constant fit. Okay, so let's implement those things, and on that thing I will be not implementing that validation thing in every API, but for login and for sign up I will do. But you guys should implement that in all the APIs. Okay, so let's start from here.
You mean
And
in all the classes we need to implement that thing, authentication one.
yeah, 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 yeah. In all the methods where you
Okay.
are getting some user data and you are saving it in the database, or you are performing some query on it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So now someone may say like we will be using a front end, and there we can put some validation, and there we will have a required. So a user will have to send the data, all those things. But again, designing API is so our core is we'll have to design something which a machine can fetch also. Okay, so the principle is we make our API in a way. So if we send a request using some API testing tool, or a request is getting sent from another machine where we don't have any front end, where it like here we can send whatever we want to send, right? Just like you see, we haven't sent the password data, right? So the motive should be design the API in that way, and that's the correct way. Okay. So for sign up, we need 4 fields. Okay, and those fields are here. So we will check if all the fields are there. Otherwise, we will return a message that all the bad request or something like that, and all the fields are required. So we can check. We can use a if condition. If data dot get name. So I think I can copy paste now. Uh, and email and password and uh, and what role. Okay, sorry, here. So now we can put all under this. Otherwise, we can return a message here that so we can say bad request and all the data fields are required, and we can say a 400 here. Okay, and if we run it now, let's check it now. So now we got the message 400 bad request, and all the data fields are required. Why? Because we are not passing the passwords. Okay, so another way to write it, we can have a not word here, and then directly we can keep the message here. So can do that something like this. I don't know if we put it in a bracket this will work, but let's see. So let's send the request again. Yeah, again it's saying bad request, all the data fields are required. Okay. Any doubt on this? So this is the first thing we have checked if we have got all the data or not. Then the second thing would be checking all the fields, and if you have any minimum or maximum value, you can check that. So for that, we can say like if uh, we can use a length here. So length length, we will put this here, and we will write dot strip. You guys know what strip means, right? Strip means if we have a string like where we have space like this, so we will get the length of this as only this string, or when we will write strip, it will convert into this. Okay, so it will remove the all the spaces before and after that string. So Okay, in Python we write len, not length. So now here we can check if length of data.name is greater than, and what we have given here. So the maximum length of name should be 60. So if it's greater than 60, then you can return a message here. Uh, saying now you can write the message name should be less than 60 in length. You can write the sentence in correct way. I know this is not sounding correct. And here we are just checking the maximum limit, but you can give the minimum limit also. So if you want the name to minimum 4 characters, you can give that here. Like it should be, so if you want minimum 4 characters, then you can say it should be greater than 3. I think okay, not be like this, and not and, or if it's less than 4, which is your minimum, so then you will have to change the message also, like length of name should be uh, in between 4 to 60. Okay, characters, right? Okay, any doubt on this? Why we are using strip? So if I say why we are using strip, I think we can test it now. So let me run this, and let's give the password. So password 2030, and role should be customer, and I think we will be deleting our database because we have stored. Okay, I think let me install any extension. You guys have any extension which using which we can edit the this SQLite file? I think it's SQLite editor or something.
SQLite editor is
SQLite,
there.
yeah, editor. This one.
Yeah, I think just let me just a minute. Let me check once. I actually installed that.
Okay, so yeah, we were here. So now if in place of name we give a empty string, something like this. Now you can say length of this string is more than 4. But we have what we have given, we have just given the empty space. Okay. And what
I think
strip
this is
will
the
do,
one only. You can check this one.
this SQLite, right?
Yeah, this is the one only. Yeah.
Yeah, I have installed this thing. No worry. Okay, so
You have to just open the database using this only. When you go to database and open, it will show a button to open it with this.
hmm. Okay, so yeah, let's just test this quickly. So if I send this request, now you are getting length of name should be in between 4 to 60 characters. Why? You can say like we have given the length, but we are using string here, strip here. So when we will use strip, the length of this string will be 0. Okay. And if we remove this from here, let's remove this. Okay, I don't know what will happen, but let's check now. And now we got the user sign up successful. But if we will check the database, we will have a empty thing in the name. So keep SQLite wizard, configure default. I want to use editor. Okay. Okay. So let's see users. So here you can see we have nothing. Why it's showing me all the suggestions? Is there any way I can stop these suggestions? Yeah, I know table and other things. Okay. Okay, fine. So here you can see we didn't get any name. Okay. So that's why we need to validate all the fields, and that's why we use the strip to like uh, remove those empty spaces. Okay. So even if you are working with a front end and someone goes in the form field and puts they click on this space button, and if you will submit it, and even if you have put the required attribute in your input tag, and you have given a minimum length or so, even after that it will like override your security thing there, and it will come here, and uh, you only be able to handle that when you will use strip and all those things we have written. Okay, something like that. Or you, if you are using javascript uh, in detail in front end, then you will be able to handle it. But we are not talking about the talking from the point of view of a front end. We will be focusing on our backend, and we will try to make it uh, more solid we can. Okay. Now this is we have done for a single field, but you can do this for multiple fields, for all the fields. So we can put the email here, we can put the password here, and for role we will write another line, but let's check this first. So name should not be email should not be more than 120, and I think we can remove this minimum field here, but if we are giving a minimum, so you need at least @ and .com. So I think we can leave the minimum field, or you can say it should contain @. So if length dot get is more than, or at not in email. Okay, and length of name should be like you can say email here should be in between, should be less than 121 character, and should contain at. Okay, password we can give minimum 4 here. This is correct. You can say password here, password it will be 20, and here we will write 20. You don't have any doubt on these things, right? This is like just a standard Python syntax, so I don't think there should be any doubt on this. And here we are making our API more robust, so we don't face any error or anything. Okay. When I say error, this doesn't mean this 400 and all those errors we get here. But that error means uh, our API doesn't crashes when someone sent a bad request. Okay. So if we don't handle a case where someone can send something which is not appropriate, so then in that case our API, like our server, will crash, which we have seen earlier where we were getting 500 internal server error. Okay. So we have checked the name, email, password, and for customer we can have a list here. So we can say if data dot get dot rule dot strip not in, we can have the customer role or we can have a manager role. Okay, so if the role is not in these two, we will return the error. And what it will be, uh, role should be either manager or customer. Okay, why we are using strip here? Again, someone can send the role like this, and if you don't use strip in that case and you directly check like data dot get role not in this, so it will not match. Okay, and we should also save the data with that thing, so we don't save any extra spaces or any bad string. Okay. Yep, so I think now we have pretty much covered all the cases we can face, and you can like implement all these things if you want to implement, otherwise it's okay. So yep, so this is fine. We are not going to return any token on the sign up, and
I have a small query.
yeah, okay.
Uh, yeah, it is in line number 43. So instead of when we are checking that,
Here, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So we are checking that when a user is entering the role, it should either be customer or manager. So
yes.
when the user will be doing this through front end, is there not a way that rather than user putting entering manually customer or manager, there is a drop down list, and in that drop down list it can select either customer or manager rather than typing?
So, yep. So you obviously when you do it by front end, you will be selecting a. If you can give a radio, you can give a button like to select either customer or manager, or you can give a drop down list. Okay, you can choose whatever you want to do on the front end. But as I mentioned here, we are not building the APIs considering the fact that we will be giving input only using front end. Okay.
Right.
So
So
when
that
you
drop,
design an API, you
yeah.
keep the thing in mind that someone can send a open request, something like this. Okay.
Hmm.
So once if we are sending request from here, we will have to manually type the role, and then in that case, we can have a error if the user is inputting some garbage details.
Right. Okay.
Clear? Anything else on this? Okay. So yep, I think our sign up API is pretty much complete. So let's go to login API. We can use this line from here. We can put it here as it is. and we can remove uh, unnecessary fields like this. So we only want a role, email and password. So okay, and we can write here both email and password fields are required. Okay, makes sense. Then I think it's pretty much same. Why we are not checking the length or password or anything? Because we are not saving any data in the database. We are just retrieving results. Okay. So uh, okay, now let's. I think I can remove this line from here. Let's put it in here. So let's set up our JWT. Okay. So in our main.py. So how we will install JWT? Simple. We will write Flask JW sorry, pip install Flask JWT extended. Okay. This is how you will install Flask JWT extended. And again, this is one of the way to implement the security token. Okay. There are other ways to implement the security token, and maybe while we will be wrapping up the things on the back end or the whole boot camp, then maybe there we can discuss things related to what else, what alternative solutions we can do. Like if I don't know if you guys know about now, but you can use request parser here. Okay, that's some other way to get the data and validate the input data. Okay, but we are not using that here because this is the simple one, and we want things to be simple. Okay, so you guys can understand. So there are like different ways to implement the security token also, but we have choose to continue with Flask JWT extended. Okay, so let's do the setup for that. So again, you can see this is the basic documentation. We will simply copy this from here and paste it somewhere here. And I think we don't need these three on the main.py. We will use it here. So main.py, we will create the JWT instance, which will be JWT and JWT manager, which we have imported from the library, and we will get the app install to itself. Okay, and we will add a security key, which is here. So let's put it here. Let's say bootcamp secret key. For bootcamp secret is fine. We also set app secret key. So let's set that also. If you want to know why we set the app secret key, I will encourage you to read it. Why we set the secret key, and even if you don't understand it, then it's fine. But it is possible that in if your Viva proctor may ask like why you set a secret key while setting the application configuration. Okay, bootcamp app secret. Okay, so if you see here what I have done, it's simply if you check the document, they have done the pretty much same thing. Okay, here the setup, here they have imported the things, and now we will move to our API file. So that's all. That was all the setup. We don't have to do anything extra. So you can see it was like 3 lines to do the setup. One is the configuration, one is creating the app instance, JWT instance, and one is importing the JWT manager. That was all we need to do in order to set up the JWT token. Now we have imported. I think we can write a single line for this. So let's put comma. Now if you see here, let's move this down here somewhere. Okay, so if you see how we are creating token here, we are using create access token, this method, and then we are giving some identity. Here it's passing the username, but we will give as per our requirement. So once the password is checked and it's correct, we will create our access token. So let's say token, and we will call the create access token function. Now we'll have to pass the identity. So you can write the identity word, or you can just leave it. You can just put the identity here. So you can put the user ID or user role or user name, whatever you like, or user email, whatever you want to do. But we will store the we will store minimum two things, which is user ID and user role. Why? Because we will use the ID and role when we will create our other endpoints. There, when the user will try to access the some endpoint, we will get the uh, we will get the user data from the token itself, and then there we will verify what the user role is. If the user has access to uh, request that endpoint which the user is requesting, and if yes, then if in any case if we need the user ID, we will take the user ID from the token itself. Okay, if you are not getting it, be patient, but we will see in a moment. Okay, so here we will be passing here it has passes just a single variable, but we will pass a whole dictionary itself. So let's create a dictionary, and we will pass the role, that will be user dot role, and we will pass ID. So let's write user ID instead of ID. So user ID will be user dot ID. Okay, so you can say this is our payload, token payload. Okay, this is the data we are passing with the token. Okay, you can return whatever, you can give whatever field you want to give in order to identify the uniqueness of the user. Okay, now how we will return the token? We will simply write here token or access token. You can write whatever you want to write. So here we have returned the token. Let's put a comma here. Okay, so I want to return some more details when the user logs in. So let's write user uh, name, maybe user dot name, user role, can write user dot role. Okay, so okay, so any doubts on this implementation? So we have checked here if user exists or not. We have checked the password, and if the password is correct, we will create the token. And when while creating the token, we will pass this dictionary data as payload, where we have given the user role and user ID, and then we are giving the token with the response. Any doubt on this thing? And if no doubt, let's move the code in other way. So if not user, then we will return this message here. And if password is not equal to given password, we can give the message here, and this thing we can move to left. Okay, so no doubt on token creation, token setup. So when you will create your front end and other things, or even if you send the request from the backend, wherever we will have JWT required, we'll have to send this token. Okay. Okay. So let's do a login so we can see the token.
It is
Uh,
easy than that the Flask security too.
yeah.
This
I will. I
JWT.
will. I will not suggest you to use class security. In my experience, I have never used class security. I have
Actually, I have
used
used
normal
and
JW. Sorry.
actually I have used and I have to create one extra column also like first unique verifier like this for
I think
creating the token.
there you write that user mixing and other things, and you create different levels.
Uh,
Okay.
that what I feel little much different that thing. And in this,
Yeah.
it is easily generating that token and all.
I think so. In when you are using JWT extended, you will have to. You are writing these three lines like JWT manager, and you are exporting these things. There is a plain JWT token also. So if you use that, you don't need to set anything else. I think that comes from PyJWT or something else, but you don't need to export anything in that case.
Yeah, that comes from
You
PyJWT.
yeah, you will just write like import JWT, and that is all. You can use this JWT, and you
Do
can
pip
create your
install of
token as well.
PyJWT.
So JWT token. But I have already said like there are multiple ways to implement the same thing. If I
But the
write
easy one is JWT.
GFG, yeah. So here I was talking about the structure of a JWT. So you have header, you have payload. So this payload is actually the data we have sent with the we have given while creating the token. Okay, so this is the payload I was talking about. I will show the token once we will generate the token. Okay. So here, okay, let's cover this briefly. So here, header is where you have the hashing algorithm. So you don't get your token in a simple reading format where a normal user can read the token. or identify the token. So you get some hashed string, and so these are some hashing methods: HS256, RS256, and in payload you get the data which you have passed as identity, then expiration and other things. We haven't set our default expiration here, but we will set that in a moment. And then signature is something it encoded from your secret key. So in that way your application knows that. So you can have two. So what can happen? There are two different applications. You have created a token on a application one, and you are trying to pass that token to application two. And how the application two will identify that you are passing the token which is generated from that app only. So from that, for that you use this signature. I think you can read it here. Like, this is the third part of JWT and used to verify the authenticity of token. Okay. I would suggest you to actually read this JFG
It's
page,
something
because this
like
is a
public and private, like that.
no. It's not like that. I will share this
Okay.
link. Okay, and I would suggest you to read this. Okay, if someone has their WhatsApp open, please share that link in the group also. Okay, so I don't think we have, like, we have the token generation thing here. Uh, let's write create JWT token. Okay, again we don't have that here. Why we don't have any create token thing on any pages? Create JWT token. How to generate a JSON web token? Okay, so maybe I will get the code from one of my projects and then I will show it tomorrow. But you can explore. You will definitely get that token thing on the GFG website itself. I don't know why it's not there as of now, but I have seen it there, and they have explained it in very detail and uh, easy manner, so you will get to understand it. Okay, so okay, let's remove this from here. Yeah, let's set the uh, expiration of tokens. So JWT extended token expiration. So this is a configuration actually, and okay, so why I'm not getting the configuration? Pratham, you remember what like key we write here. I think it's JWT token expiration or something like this. Okay, we can write it later. So we were okay. We have completed our login API. So let's test it quickly. Okay, so here we are. Let's remove the name, role. So we have password. Uh, we have test 3. Okay, this is fine. Let's send the request. It's saying bad request. All the data fields are required. Why? Password, email. Let's check our code. So we have uh,
You are using signup instead of
okay. Sorry. So login. Okay, thanks. Okay, so now it's saying incorrect password. Okay, now let's edit the
Yeah, I
database.
sent a link. You can check once.
Okay. So let's change our password to 230 for all. 2030. Do I need to click somewhere to save the data?
Just enter. That will save.
commit.
Sorry, here, commit.
Commit. Yeah,
Yeah.
commit.
Okay, can I do it for? So can I change all the field at once? Then I click on it, commit.
No,
Is
you have
it
to change one
possible?
by one.
Okay.
Else write the query.
Okay, 2030 commit 2030. Then let's put a name here. We can give the name as test. This is test 4, and we can make it uh, okay. Test 4, it's fine. So, and here we have also one field. So let's set it to custom. Fine. Anything else? Uh, okay. So let's send the request again. And now we got the message user logged in successfully. We got the name test customer, and we got the token. So now I don't know if you are able to see this here, but we have got first dot here. So this is our header, and where is the second dot? Okay, so this much is our payload, and this is our what was it? Signature. So this is our signature. Okay, so if you change this signature, okay, by any character, you will get the error. Or you can, even if you will be making any changes in the token itself, you will get the error that token is not like not correct, corrupted token or something like that. Okay, so we got our token. Now we will do any request. We will try to access any API where we have used where we have given the decorator that JWT required, or we are checking if the user has sent the token with the request. If we are not passing the request, we will get some authentication error. Not authentication, authorization error. So I think we have a test API, so we can check it there. So we have this JWT required here, which we will be using as a decorator. So we don't need to write token validation functions by ourselves. It is automatically given by JWT extended. We just have to import it, and then we can directly use it. Okay, so let's use it here. So how we will use it? We will write add. We will write JWT required, and it's a function. So we'll put parenthesis. Okay. Now if you will try to access this endpoint get, I think it was slash API slash welcome. Yeah, that's why it has the name here. And if you will try to access it, and if you are not passing the token, it will give some error. Okay, so let's try to access this. Let's check the route. So it was slash API slash welcome. Okay, Pratham has given some. Okay, so yeah, here it is. So we put this here, and then we put time delta, and we put hours. So we will be. It should be valid for 12 hours. So we'll write 12. Let's import time delta. So from date time import time delta. If you don't know time delta, please go and search and read about it. Here we can set like minute, second, hours, day, whatever we want to set. Okay. So after 12 hours, our token will get expired. Okay. So let's change it to welcome, and we are going to fetch the get one, and now we will have to pass the token with the header here. I think I have used it somewhere, so let's remove this. So by default, you will get the header, so it will have those attributes, but we don't have any attribute as of now. We are going to fetch the slash API slash welcome endpoint with the get method. So which function should be processed? This one. So we have a JWT required here. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's send the request. We got the missing authorization header. And where we pass the token, we pass the token with the header. So here we'll have to give the header. Okay. So we will put this word authorization here. And when we pass the JWT extended token, we'll have to pass a word bearer first. So we will write bearer space, then we paste our what is it, token. Okay. So we have got our token here, and keep one thing in mind: you don't need to copy this parent codes here. Okay, you have to only copy the token itself. So we have copied the token. Let's paste it here. Okay, let's see what happens if we don't give the bearer. I don't know if it will work or not. Okay, so it's still saying missing bearer type in authorization header. Okay, and now it's giving the way how it is expecting the token to be. So it's saying authorization should be there as a key. Then we should have the bearer keyword, then a space, and then the JWT token. Okay, so that's the way we are following here. Let's paste the bearer space here, and now let's send the token.
I think one last
Okay.
character is not copied. Just second.
Okay, so even if we missed that, so you can see it's saying signature verification failed. So it was able to like decode the token. How it was able to decode the token, because we have given this what was it, header thing. So all the encoding decoding algorithms it has here, so it already know. And then we have the identity here, but we have missed some point, some character from here, and it's saying signature verification failed. So we have missed something from the signature, and it's saying signature verification failed. Okay, so let's copy it again. Let's paste it here. Let's send the request, and now we got the hello, this is grocery store. Let's try to uh, disturb something else in it. Let's remove this e from the header itself. Now it's saying invalid header is saying, okay, and it's not able to decode the token. Why? Because it doesn't know like what kind of uh, encoding algorithm is there. So what was it? It was e, right? Yeah, okay. Now it again saying hello, this is grocery store. I don't know, something will happen if we remove something from the payload, because we are not testing anything. We are not getting anything from the payload as of now in the function. But let's disturb something in the payload itself. So we have one dot here. We have one dot here. So let's remove this q from the payload. Let's copy the token. Let's paste it here. Let's send the request. Okay, now it's saying invalid payload padding. So there is a fixed length of payload which can be there, and we have removed something from it, so it's saying invalid payload padding. If you want to read it in more detail, so what is payload padding actually, so you can go through the documents. Okay. Anyway, so we have tested the token and how we are going to send the token and all other things. I think I have taken too much time. So let's quickly continue with our other API. So our login and sign up API is done. Okay, I haven't shown you one thing, how we will access the payload and other things. So let's send the token. Let's get the token. Let's paste it here, and let me modify this. So now we will be printing get JWT identity, which we are getting from the Flask extended itself. Okay, from here we have imported the JWT identity. Now let's send the request. So if we send the request, let's see the terminal. And if you see here what it has printed the data we have sent with the request. So this is our identity we have passed while creating the token. And now we are getting the role and ID. Okay. And we can access these things here. So you can say like get JWT identity is a dictionary, because we have passed a dictionary here while creating the token. And we can, you already know how we access the keys of dictionary. So either you can assign it to a variable like current user or something, or you can directly write this thing here, and you can say get, and you can give the key. So let's say user ID, and let's suppose get the role from this one itself. So what we have given here, role or user role. Okay. So let's write role, and if we send the request, why it's printing user one. Okay, let's comment this. We have this print statement here, here. Okay, fine. Let's send the request again. And now let's check the terminal. So you can see we are getting the role as customer and user ID as 4. Okay. Any doubt on the, so we have covered pretty much all of the token related things. Any doubt on this?
While creating the token, you are saying like we need to pass the role also along with that ID. So
Yep.
not necessary to pass role. Is it necessary or it will be used in future thing?
Okay. So I think I think we have enough time
Okay,
for
let
that.
me tell
So
you.
yeah.
We will be
No,
using
no, no.
this role thing.
Let me just create the category API. There it will automatically come. So we'll have to use the role thing there. Okay.
Okay, actually in
Okay.
my thing I have not explicitly create a role column. I have created two extra column,
Okay.
admin
Let,
or
let
if
me let
professional.
me write the category API. So
So,
next we are going to write the category API, and there
yeah,
we
please
will use
elaborate that
this
point.
role
Okay.
there.
Ha.
Okay.
Please
Yeah.
elaborate that thing role.
So okay, I think if you allow me, can I copy this whole sign up API code,
Yes, yes.
or you want me to
No,
write?
no, no. You can stop it.
Yeah. So I have copied the same code. Let me change this to category API. We are going to write the post of that, and what we will need. I think we have only one field in the category, that is name, and we have given the 100. So we will be removing all these things, and we will have only one field here. So okay. So if not name, bad request, all the fields are required. Again, this is just a message. If you say all the fields are required, there is only one field, so you can modify all these things. And then name should not be greater than 101. So we want it to be 100, and let's leave it to 4 characters. That is also fine. It should have minimum 4 characters, and let's change it to 100. So length of name should be in between 400. Okay. Now we have not given the unique constraint here, so we can have multiple categories with the same name. But if we would have given the unique constraint in this line, means unique equal to true, then we will have to check here, just like we are checking the user email. So we would have to check here, like if the name already exists or not, and if it's already existing, we would have given the error that category already exists. But we are not doing like that, so so I think we can remove this line also. Okay. And same thing, we'll have to create a category object. So let's write category here. We only have name here, so we will be removing all these things, and we can say new category here. New category, let's just add it here, and we can say category created successfully, and we will be giving 201. Why? Because we are adding a new record in the database. Now any doubts on this thing? We have created the category creation API. Any doubts on this point?
No.
Okay. Now who will be creating the categories? We have three roles: uh, customer, manager, admin. Who has the access to create a API, create a category? So we have like on the third or fourth day of the boot camp, you don't know like who will be creating the category. So admin will be creating the category. Okay. So admin will do the all the CRUD related to category. Okay. Not the user or the manager. Okay. Manager can request for a change in category, but not he will not do the actual operation. Okay. Now for the authentication purpose, like if the user is authenticated or not, we use JWT required. Okay. But if a user is logged in, so okay, let's do the actual operation itself. So let's register the category API here. So we will import the category API and we will add it here. So category API, and we will simply write one word only, category. Okay. As of now, we are not passing any ID or anything. So I think we are good to go. Let's run the server and let's create a new request. So it will be post request, and let's copy this. Let's paste it here, and it is slash API slash category. If you don't pass, okay, we'll have to pass the JSON data, which is name, and let's say the name will be, so what name you want to, okay, first category. Okay, now now if we send the data, we are getting 401 unauthorized missing authentication header. Okay, let's give a header. So we can remove these things or we can leave these things, that is fine. Let's add a header authorization, and let's copy this from one of our request. I think this was, so control all, control C, control V. Now this token is like who has logged in here? User, a customer has logged in, right? So this token belongs to a customer, correct?
Correct, correct.
Here we are giving a customer token. Okay, sorry, where I am. Okay, here we are giving the customer token. Okay, let's send the request. It's saying category created successful. Now we have accessed a endpoint which only has access to admin, and we have accessed it using a customer token.
So it is violating. That's why we have used that role in the
Yep.
payload thing.
So yeah, so there is a thing called authentication and authorization. Authentication. I can make spelling mistakes, so I authentication versus AUTH authorization. I know this is okay. Let me copy it from here. Now my spelling is correct.
It's okay. No issue
So,
on that spelling and all. We are
okay,
here
okay.
to
So,
learn the logic.
okay. So this is a potential Viva question, or anyway in a normal life you would have heard the word like authentication and authorization. You should know the difference between these two words. So authentication means your user is authenticated or not. So if you are trying to access some service of a app, do you have like access to that app or not? Like if you are in that app's user database or not? So that is authentication. When we do login here, what we are doing, we are authenticating the user. Okay, we are checking if the email exists or not, if the password is correct or not. Okay, what we are doing with this JWT required thing here, we are again doing the authentication. if the user has token or not. What we are not doing is authorization. So authorization is something if the user is authenticated, that's good. But we will have to check if the user has access to the certain resource which he is trying to access. Okay, so if the customer is trying to access the admin endpoint, he should not be able to access the admin endpoint, right? And that's something we will check when we do the authorization. Okay, and we are not doing the authorization here. That's why the uh, that's why we were able to create the category with the customer token. Okay, how we will do the authorization? We will check the role which is there in the payload of the token. And how we will do that? Let's check. So we can get the data from the get JWT identity. We can get the token payload. Okay, you can write it here like get role, or you can give it to a variable. Let's say what variable? Current user. Okay, let's say current user. We can have it here, and then we can have it here. It's pretty much same thing. Now we can check if the current user role is equal to uh, admin, then only we will allow this operation. Okay, otherwise we will give a error. So let's write in other way. So if the current user role is not equal to admin, we will return a message. So let me copy from here, and we can say, or we can say access denied, or you can write unauthorized access or something like that. And I think for access denied or unauthorized access you use 403. Pratham, correct me if I'm wrong. So I think you use 403. 401 for when you have not passed the token. 403 is when access is not correct, and then there are some other like signature is not correct and token has expired, something like that. Okay. Now what we have done here, we have performed the authorization. So we are checking if the current user has the admin role, and if not, we will give the message access denied and we will return without processing the request. And if it's admin, we will process the request. Now if we send the if we request this API, so same, we have the customer token, we have a category here. Let's say second category. Let's send the uh, uh, request, and now we have got 403 forbidden. It's saying access denied. So now I hope your question was clear why we are sending the role.
Yes, yes. For authorization purpose for the particular
Yeah.
group.
Any and the what is authentication and what is authorization? This is also clear, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's
So
see what.
basically for three roles, there will be three different tokens will be generated according to their role. And accordingly, they will able to explore the
Yeah. So it's obvious. Like when a user will log in, when a customer will log in, the customer will get, even if two customers are logging, they will get their different tokens with their
user ID.
yeah, with their user ID. So payload
Hmm.
will be different, right?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So okay, let's unauthorized access status code. Yeah, so it is 403 or 401. There is a problem with okay. So the HTTP 401 unauthorized status code indicate that the request had not been applied lacks valid authentication credential. Okay, so we can write 403 here. No worries. Okay, so yep. So now this is clear. We can quickly create the what was that? Uh, edit edit of the uh, category. So let's put here pretty much all the things will be same. We will be doing the same thing. One extra thing we will be doing, and that is we will get a ID here, and that will be category ID. And then we will check if that category exists or not. So we will perform one query here, category dot query dot. Now you can use get or you can use filter by. Let's use get, and we will put the category ID. So if category, then we will process this request category. Yeah, if the category exists, then we will process the request. Otherwise, so let's write in other way around. If not category, we will return a message, and that message will be category not found or exist. You can write whatever you want to write, and we can give 404. And if the category exists, we will be updating the name. So that will be category dot name. Can remove it here, and we can remove this line. We can change the message here, and we are not adding any records, so it will be 200. Any doubt on this? I know I'm coding a bit fast, but it's pretty much same thing. So any doubts on this?
Just one thing I want to ask. Yes, this is self thing. Just want to clear one doubt. This self, what we have put in our method. So it
Hmm.
is just like a instance for that class.
Instance for Flask? No, no, no. So actually, in this is something which comes from OOPS concept, object-oriented programming. So within a class, if you add a method, you write self. So this is a standard Python thing.
Got it. And category ID, what we have passed is just like a parameter so that it can
Yeah,
be.
category ID is a URL parameter. So we will create a URL for this one. Okay. So if this is clear, I will quickly create the delete one also. Any doubts on this point? We are just so this is pretty much same thing what we have done in the this one here, creation of the category. So we are checking if the data is there, and if data is there, it's valid or not. Then we are checking if the category exists or not. If the category doesn't exist, we will return the 404 category not found or exist. And if it's there, we will access the category dot name, and we will update it with the name we have got from the request. Okay, we will save the changes, and we will return a message. Fine. Okay. And we are doing all the authentication and authorization thing. It's pretty much same thing. Now you can write a decorator for this, but I will not be doing this. Maybe tomorrow when I will be showing that plain JWT thing, there I will be showing that. But we won't be using that in our app. Okay. But I would advise you to use that. So basically, what will happen? You will have a role required function. You will write it here. I mean, you can have the name whatever you want to have. You can write role required here, and here you can pass a list, and here you will be writing all the roles which has access to that endpoint. So like admin, manager, Okay, and then you don't have to write these 3 lines. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's quickly create the delete one also. We have copied it. Let's paste it. We are not getting any data from the request, so we can remove these lines. And if the category is there, then it's fine. If not exist, we will give the category not found error. And if it's exist, we will write db.session.delete. So just like for add, we were adding it in a add a method. Here we will add it in delete bin. So we will write category and then change the message to deleted and change the method also. Okay. Anything on this one? Any doubt on this? No. Okay. Good. Let's create another route here so we can access the slash API slash category uh, integer category ID. Okay. Fine. Let's restart the server. And now we'll have to do the admin login. So otherwise we won't be able to perform the operation. So let's suppose if I do a request, where is it? It was an API category. If I give the ID, I think the ID will be 1 because this is the first one we have created. And if I want to change the name to updated category, now, okay, let's change the method to put. And in headers, we have the same customer token. So again, we will get the same thing like accept inactive. So let's log in our admin and get the token. So admin credential is admin @gmail. Okay, it's all @gs.com, I think. Yeah, admin @gs.com. And password is 2030. This is fine. Let's send the request. Now we got another token. Let's copy this token. Now it is showing the username and role here. So you can say this is admin token. Let's paste it here. Uh, Sorry, here. So let's paste it here. And yeah, I think we can send the request now. Now it's showing category updated successfully. And if we check the name in the database, so where is the category? Okay, this is the category. Now the name is changed to updated category, but let's give a meaningful name to the category. And so, do you have a category name? Mm, let's say sweets. So we will start from sweets and snacks. Okay, it's updated. Let's check the database. From where we can refresh this? Okay, auto reload. I don't know how to refresh it. Oh, okay, it's updated. Okay, fine. Uh, so okay, let's try the delete one also. But I think I will not be deleting the sweet one. So let's create another category. So let's send put post method, and let's say the category name will be delete testing. Fine. Let's send the request. We got category created successfully 201. It's here, delete testing. Now let's delete this one. The ID is 2. So we will send the delete request. Sorry, so we are here. Let's close this one. So delete request slash API slash ID. Okay, now let's give a random ID. Let's say 10. And now let's, okay, we don't need any data with the delete body. So let's send the request. Now it's saying category not found. Why? Because there is no category with the ID 10. So let's give the second ID and let's send the request. It's saying category deleted successfully. If we if we check the database, it is deleted and we got only one category here. Clear? We have checked the creation, updation, deletion of the category with authentication, authorization. So any doubt, anything on this?
No, no.
Okay, okay, I think we have enough time. So let's write the one important thing, which is get one. So for that, I will be just copying these two lines. So let's write get. For that, we will query. So what is the name of the resource? Category. So we will write categories equal to category dot query. Okay, let me check the okay, fine. Okay, category dot query dot all. We will get all the categories. Now here there are three different ways to return the data, and so okay, let me write it the first way itself. So once we got all the categories, we cannot send the data in the same way. So what we have got here, so this is equivalent to uh, this is a list of category alchemy. When I say alchemy, means SQL alchemy. CHEMY object. Okay. For that, I will print this also. So print categories. Okay. Now we'll have to convert this in JSON format. For that, let's create a category JSON list and let's run a for loop on category. So for category in categories uh, uh, category JSON dot append. What we will append? We will append a JSON object and here we will give category ID and name. Category name. Okay. And at the end of the loop we will return category JSON. Okay, now let's do some testing on this one. So let's run the server and where is our okay, let's remove these things from here. Let's make it get request. We don't need any body. We are already giving the authorization header. Let's send the request. Now we are getting the, you can see this is a list and then we are getting this JSON. Okay. If we return the plain result itself, what will happen? So if I comment this line, and I return the categories itself. Okay, the server is running. Okay, if you see here, this is what is printed by this line, and this is what a SQL Alchemy object is. Okay, which I have written here. Okay, this one. So if I return simply this, what we have got as a result of the query, and if I try to fetch it, what will happen? You will give 500 internal server error, and the error will be not JSON serializable. Okay, object of type category is not JSON serializable. Okay, why? Because we need JSON data as a response. So let's remove this line and comment this one. So yeah, now let's. Okay, the server is running. Let's send the request again. We got the result again. And okay, so I was talking about other ways to do it. So one way to do it, what we are creating here, we can define a method within this table itself. Okay, and how we define the method in a table. So let's search uh, table methods in Flask SQL. Okay, so here one of the methods. So this is a default method. I will show you what it does actually. So let me copy this. Let's paste it here. So you can see again the person who was asking for why self is there. You can see this is a class thing, and here we are writing a method within the class. So again we are using self here, and self is something which is accessing this category object. So we are getting self dot name. Now where this is something this is a internal method. Okay, so if we, and how this works, if you see, when it was printing here the category, it was showing the category as a category 1 as a object. But now if we send the request, when we have this okay, here we have the user. Let's change it to category. And now if I send this request again, let me check if we have the print. Okay, we have this printed statement here. If I send the request again, and now if you check this, see, you are getting the name here, category, which is how we have defined it, category, and then the name of the category. So here the name of, you can extend it by writing ID or whatever you want to access. Okay. So this is something which comes internally. I think there is I don't know. I think in Java there is something like that we learn where we override the default printing way. So we override the default printing way. So then we get the results printed in the way we have defined, just like this. So here we are overriding the internal method. Okay. Anyway, this is just something extra I wanted to mention. But now let's create the actual class we want to define. So okay, let me close this. We can have a def, and what should be the function name? Let's say convert to dict or convert to JSON. will write self, and we will return a response. And what we will return in the response, we will write self dot id and self dot name, but we'll have to give a sorry, we'll have to give a uh, key here, id and name. So now we have a function registered with this method, and instead of, so just take a good look on this. We have done nothing extra. We simply created a function or method. We have given the self class to extend this class, and then we are returning the id and name. Simple. This id and name is coming from these column names. So if the column name is category name, then we will write category name here. So what will happen? What we were writing here, this thing, we don't have to write this thing. So I will not clear this. I will leave it for the sake of example. I will comment this, and I will write this line, and here I will write category, which is the category object, and here we can call that function, which is convert convert to JSON. Yep. Let's run the server and let's send the request. Okay, category get open. Let's send the request. It's printing here, and we are getting the result in the same manner. Okay. So these are two ways which were like pretty much related to table and manually doing the thing. Now something is there which where we define the fields, then we use Marshall and Marshall with. But I think it would be better if I cover that thing tomorrow. Otherwise, it will be a burden thing. Uh, so I think these two ways are enough for today. These are two ways in which you can return the response.
So wherever we want
Here,
the fetch things, so we can assign on that table. I'm correct, right?
sorry.
Like we have defined this in a category thing. So wherever we want to fetch the details, we can define the
Uh,
same method there also.
Same method means get.
Yeah, that we have defined just now, like convert to JSON thing.
Yeah. So if either you can write it here, but the thing is, if you write the method here itself, so uh, like there are 5 places where you will have to return category. Then again,
Uh-huh.
all those 5 places you will have to write this thing again and again. So that is
Hmm.
something redundant. But if you define the method here itself, you only have to call that method on the object.
Mhm.
Okay.
So likewise, if you want in the product table also, so we can define
Yeah.
this.
We will. Okay. So I think we have some. Uh, okay. Let's quickly define it for other tables because we will be using it. So let's do it quickly. Uh, let's do it here. Convert to JSON, ID, name. Let's copy the same fields. Sorry. Description, price, unit, stock, sold. So stock, sold, Let's complete category ID. Okay, self dot category. Okay. I think we can access the name also. I don't know if it will work or not, but we just try it. But we will be testing it tomorrow. But let's write category name, and we can write category dot name. Again, I don't know if it will work or not, but it can work in some way. So yep. So we will be doing the same thing in other table also. I will be showing you all the different ways, but I think this is the this one is good, so we will be using this one. Okay. This doesn't mean anything, but you can paste it in other table also. So this helps in debugging when you are facing some error. You are printing a list of categories, and you want to see what are the actual categories printing. So then you can use this one. Okay. So I think we have covered enough for today, and we will start writing other APIs tomorrow, which is product and cart and other all other things. So yep. Anything, any question, any general query, anything at all? We start the server. Okay, it's already
So
started.
this at the rate JWT required, we have I think used in every method. I think in every class,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yep, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, don't use it on login and sign up endpoints.
Login and
So
sign up we don't
yeah,
use.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There
Okay.
we will create the token.
Yeah, yeah.
Login we will create. Sign up I think we will not create, right?
You can see it's not a rule that you cannot do it. You can create it here also. Okay.
But I think sign up is required because once it is login and it gets a token, then after that he can do
See, see,
authorization.
see.
Huh.
Okay, okay. So okay. So actually, it depends on the way you are implementing the application. So there are two ways you can implement. One, when the user sign ups. So when the user is registering for the first time, and you have shown the registration form, user submits the detail. After that, what to which page you are redirecting to the user. Okay, so if you are redirecting user to the dashboard page, so you can generate the token in the sign up page itself. And if after registration you are redirecting the user to login page, so there once the user will log in, and then he will get the token, obviously. Okay, so
I
it
think
depends
in
on
general way
how
we
you
will.
are designing your application.
Okay, okay. If we are routing to login, then it is not required, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So actually,
No.
I used to create token in both sign up and login. But then I have seen some like most of I don't know why, but most of the students do sign up and then they redirect the user to a login page. Then they again ask their credential. Then they redirect him to the login page. So dashboard page. I don't know like that make any sense, but yeah, that's it. Like depends on you how you are designing the application. Okay. Any doubt? Anything?
Thought I'll implement this JW thing. I will don't ignore. I will ignore that thing security and all. I think this
Yep.
much is good.
Uh, yep. Okay. So I think we can close. So how many people we have? We have Naman, Satyajit, Raja, Ayakutti. I think Naman is the one who are asking questions daily.
Okay, I need
right?
to finish anyhow. I don't want to
Yeah,
extend these things.
yeah. Right. No, no. Good work. Okay. If you are asking question, means you are doing something after the session. Okay.
Yes, yes, I'm trying.
Okay. So, yeah. So Pratham, we can close the.
Yeah, I think we can end the video.
Okay. Okay. So, bye. Good night.
Thank you
Take
everyone
care.
for joining. Good night.